Hello, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with A La Arvy. And today is the day before Labor Day, so guess what? I am preparing a seafood broil. So first off, we gotta start off with cleaning the seafood. Yes, I clean everything. So I'm gonna show you what I do to clean that, and then I'm gonna show you the next steps. Stay tuned and welcome aboard. Come on in. All right, I'm getting ready to clean my seafood, so I'm going to show you what all I have in there first. But let me show you what I have in here. Just regular water. In fact, let me add a little bit more water, but some regular water. I have some lime that I'm ready to cut this lemon, and I'll put it in here, and then I'll show you what's up next. All right, so now I'm going to add all of these different ingredients. First up, we're going to put the snow crab legs in there. And as you can see, I've squeezed the lime juice into the water, okay? So, you never know. People are handling your food, and you never know how they're handling these things. So you never really know what they're doing and how they're doing it. So anyway, this is what you need to do. Make sure that there's no funky business going on with your stuff. So I use vinegar and water, a vinegar water solution for some things. Just because this is seafood, I am using lime and water, okay? All right, next up, we have here the Jonah crab claws. And we have some lobster, there you go, lobster tail. And some crab claws. See that? And I'm only preparing for 3-4 people today. That's why I'm limiting how much I'm using. All right, continuing on, adding the rest of the things here. We have some clams. And we have some mussels. Some Argentine shrimp. And in this bag, I already cleaned these and seasoned these from the last time. So in here, I have some more lobster tails. I have some oysters and some king crab legs and a few mussels in here. But those are already seasoned, so these are separate from this one, and then they'll be added together when I'm finished. All right, so you fiddle this around here, let it soak for a little bit, 5 to 10 minutes, just to make sure, get all the stuff off. And while this is happening, I'm just going to go ahead and take these out, because then I'm going to need to season this up and have to rinse it off and all of that stuff. So I'm going to let it soak, and then I'm going to rinse it off and show you what's next. All right, while I'm letting this soak, I took out all of the lime and lemon pieces. So now I'm going to go ahead and get my pot filled with water. All right, so since I'm only making for about 4 people or so, I'm doing this size pan. I usually do it in the oven in a large disposable pan, and I just let it bake for the period of time. But I'm doing it in this pot today. I've done that before as well too, but I just prefer the baking pan sometime. But anyway, I'm going to fill this with water half full, and then I'm going to show you what I do next. All right, now while my pot is soaking, not my pot, I'm sorry, while the seafood is soaking in that diluted lime water, I'm going to go ahead and start preparing this pot here. So as you see, it's about half filled with water. All right, as you can see, the stove is on high, and the first thing I'm going to do is just add a little olive oil. All right, extra virgin olive oil, just a little bit. Don't need no bunch of oil floating around in there, but you just need just a little bit, okay? Just to help everything get set a little bit. All right, next up, let's add a little bit of pepper lard. This I got from St. Croix, Virgin Islands, okay? And don't come for me. That's the name of the pepper. Don't come for me. All right? So here what it says, Vexness in a bottle. You see the information there if you're interested in getting some. But that's the name. All right. So it's very hot, eh? So I'm just going to put two. Well, let me just put a little, just one more in there. All right. And don't say I didn't warn you. This thing hot. Hot, hot, hot. Vexness in a bottle is an understatement, okay? All right. Next up, I'm going to add a little bit of Caribbean jerk seasoning. And this one from Sam's Club. And it all depends on how spicy you want this, because it's up to you. Cayenne pepper next. Now, of course, you got to have the Old Bay. And it cannot go down without my A La Arvy seasoning. You know that. So I'm going to stir this around and then I'm going to taste it. Make sure it tastes like how I want it to, and I'll show you what's next. All right, it's starting to boil up. I haven't tasted it yet. I'm going to add, remember I told y'all I have these are fresh herbs from the garden, by the way. I cut them up and put them in the freezer in a Ziploc bag. So when I'm ready to use it, I just take it out. Oh, it's looking so blurry. Okay. So yeah, so I'm just going to put a couple blocks in there. All right, let me let that boil and then I'll taste it. All right, you see how it's starting to boil? You see what it's looking like so far? Before I even put any seafood in there. And I'm just going to add now a little bit of salt. All right. Yes, this bad boy is tasting absolutely scrumptious. All right. So while I let that boil in some more, I'm going to actually go ahead and show you. Let me show you the potatoes I'm adding in. And then I'm going to cut them and put them in first since they'll take longer than the actual seafood. So this is red potatoes. So this is what I typically use for my seafood broil. I'm allergic to corn, so I don't do corn. I do potatoes, I do mushrooms, which you see here already seasoned up, cleaned and seasoned up. And then I do some broccoli. Today I'm using some of this broccoli. I usually use the fresh broccoli, but I'm out of fresh broccoli, so I'm going to use that one today. So all right, let me cut these in half. All right, cut my potatoes in half, and now I'm going to add them in here. I'm just going to actually just do one by one. All right, I'm finished adding these in here, and then I'm going to show you what's added next. All right, now that we've added the potatoes in, it's time to, this is soaked long enough, it's time to, look, I missed one of those limes. It's right in here somewhere. It's time to, anyway, it's time to clean these off and finish seasoning them up to put them in the pot. Okay, it's all drained now. So now it's time to rinse these bad boy off. We're gonna rinse it off and then season it up. Let's just rinse these off with some fresh water now. Get some of that lime off of it. And then it's time to season them up. All right. Time to add some seasoning. And you don't need a whole bunch of seasoning because, as you saw, I've already seasoned the water. But I like my things to taste nice. So, of course, I am going to add me some A La Arvy seasoning to this bad boy before putting it into the pot. So, yeah. All right, as you can see, it's seasoned. All right, so now remember I mentioned about the one that was seasoned already. So now I'm going to add this to the pot first, and then I'm going to add these in. I guess you've figured it out why I only put half of water in here, because of course the volume adjusts itself for what you're putting in. So by the time I'm finished putting everything in, the water is probably going to be up to about right there. So you got to be smart about what you're doing, right? You can't put too much in there and floating over your pot. All right, so time to start to add these stuff in here. That was a lobster tail, some king crab legs, oyster and king crab legs, mussels, king crab legs, and these are just from the ones that I had already seasoned. All right. Okay, next up is to add the new ones from today that I just finished seasoning. All right, I add these to this bowl to make it easier to transport. All right, so all of this is gonna go in here with the other stuff, right? All right, so let me get something else to help me transport these, and then I'll show you. All right, everything is in now. Time to stir it up, make sure everything gets down in that water. Hey, get off of there. The mussel's trying its best to climb back out. All right, leave my hand, let me stir around properly. All right, I'm gonna let this boil for 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna add these mushrooms, baby bella mushrooms, and I'm gonna add these broccoli. All right, let me cover this pot first, actually. Just gonna cover it and have a little bit of a steamer on the side. All right, I'll be up soon. Y'all, I wish this was really smell-o-vision. I know I keep saying that, but my goodness, this thing smells so good. Well, sir, well, sir. All right, I'm gonna let it cook for another about, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna add in the mushrooms and the broccoli, and then let that cook for another 15-20 minutes, and that'll be it. Okay, it's about 20 minutes left, and I actually just checked the potatoes. About 20 minutes left, see, and I actually just checked the potatoes, and the potatoes are already ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these mushrooms in there. I added the mushrooms, the baby bella mushrooms. I'm just gonna get them down into the water. All right, let me use my other hand so I can stir these up. All righty, I'm going to add some of this to my pot. It's just about almost done, y'all. Got 12 minutes left here. All right, last 10 minutes or so. So now I'm gonna cover this bad boy, and then I'll see you when it's done. Oops, I almost nearly burned myself just now. My timer went off, 45 minutes went off. It's time to turn this bad boy off. And then I'm gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna plate it, so you'll see it soon. Plate number 1. All right, and this one is number 2. And this one is a congested one. It's packed up, so you can't really see all the stuff that's in there. And this one is plate number 3. And the final plate, plate number 4. All right, everyone. Now that was another episode of Cooking with A La Arvy. So hope you have enjoyed. So you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to go and eat that food up. I wish y'all could smell it. I wish y'all could taste it, but I'll enjoy it for you. All right, y'all. Be blessed. Take care and see you on the next episode. Peace. Sparkles.